Good afternoon and welcome everyone to Dave Farrington Park here in Wellington for this local derby. It is round 3 of the National League South Central Series. Miramar Rangers up against Wellington Olympic. It is a repeat of a match last played on the 14th of August when on that occasion Olympic took out the honours 1-0 to confirm themselves as Central League champions. So a bit of feeling in this one. Andrew Dewhurst are with you alongside his former international Hedemaya Nata. And Harry, nice to have a local derby here between these two very good teams.
Yeah, absolutely, Andrew. Good afternoon, everyone. Thoroughly looking forward to the afternoon. Looks like a lovely day in Wellington. Not what we saw last week in that game with Olympic and Selwyn. But yeah, very much looking forward to this game against two teams, two great footballing teams, and some fantastic players we'll see this afternoon.
Well, let's have a look at those lineups, and we start with the Olympic side, and they've got just the one change to their starting lineup. Justin Gully, of course, vastly experienced. He comes into the side in that back three alongside Harry Choate and Ben Marta. Look for that attacking trio, though. They've got scoring right through, in fact, the front two-thirds of the field. So a lot of excitement there with Gould and McKeown and Bazookas, Halakias. Let's hear what their coach, Martin Pereira Garcia, had to say ahead of this one.
Well, Martin, top of the table clash. What has been the focus for you and the team this week?
I guess, we had to tidy up a few things. The first half last week we were a bit flat. It's like letting Selwyn, stay in the game. And obviously today against Miramar Rangers, we cannot afford to do that. They for me, they have a really, really strong team, so they will just come really strong, especially, after what happened in the end of the Central League, when we won the league in the second to last game against them. So it's just kind of like, they're going to just try to make a point today. And, we hope that, we get a good result and a good performance as well.
Where do you see the game being won or lost today?
I think the game is going to be, we can win it in the midfield. It's like our midfield four has been performing really well with Tor and Theo Edema, and now Jack Henry and Kalen as well, finding their positions, finding pockets, and, being really dangerous, combining with the white guys and with Gianni. So I think, especially when they have players like Ollie White and Andy Bevin as well, I think there's going to be a battle in the middle, a lot of really good players, and it's going to be a really good game.
Good luck, and hope the game goes well.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, mate.
Cool.
So they are well aware of the threat that Miramar pose. So let's have a look at their lineup. 3 changes. Taylor Shrivers comes in at the back. Ollie White returns in midfield. And a late change. João Moriera had been warming up. He was going to start up front, but he's pulled up a little bit lame with a hamstring. So Andy Bevan, the vastly experienced Andy Bevan, comes into the side wearing the number 12. Let's hear from their head coach, Scott Hales.
Well, Scott, big game today. How's the preparation gone?
Yeah, really good this week. Like everybody in Wellington knows this fixture, just as much as what the players and both clubs do. It's a huge rivalry, big derby, and look, we've been at it this week. It's a game that we're really looking forward to because we did lose the Central League in that game to Olympic. So there's a bit of bragging rights to who is the best club in Wellington, and although it's not the cup final, it is very much going to be like a cup final.
What sort of game are you expecting?
High octane, like at each other, high pressing teams, not an inch, no time on the ball, no space on the pitch. Literally, it's going to be fierce.
Should be fun then.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Excellent. Good luck.
Cheers, thanks.
Yeah, Scott Hales very much up for this one as the skippers meet the officials, and Campbell Kirk Kawanawar is the man in the middle for this one. And as I say, conditions pretty good. Certainly vastly improved on last weekend in the capital city. Looking at a high of around 18, 19 degrees. There is what the locals might term as a breeze. It is a northerly that might be gusting from time to time, but no excuses here in Dave Farrington Park, in pretty good nick as well. Let's have a look at results coming into this one. Both these two teams unbeaten. They're the only teams with perfect records. Suburbs were beaten 2-1 by Miramar in round 1, and then Rangers got their 3-2 over the Phoenix. For Wellington Olympic, they've scored goals, 8 in total, 4-2 over the Phoenix and 4-1 last week over Selwyn United. That one was 1-1 at half-time. So plenty of attacking ability, Harry. That's what intrigues me the most leading into this one. In particular, Olympic, I think. They've got goals across 5 or 6 players. Miramar, a lot of talent as well. I think this could be very entertaining, and yet their scores this season have been relatively tight. Not too many goals in their matches.
Absolutely. I think we looked at the Olympic results there previously. 4 goals in their last couple of games, a hat-trick for Caelan Gould last week against Selwyn United. Looked for him to be on the ball as early as the game as possible and getting involved. On the other side, Ollie White scored a cracking goal against Western Suburbs in round 1 as well. So Andy Bevan, obviously talked about him, was starting the match on the bench, but now finds himself leading the line. So again, a vastly experienced player at a National League standard as well.
So Wellington Olympic playing in the all-white away strip, Miramar Rangers in their home colours. And whilst we mention all-white in terms of the strip, fascinating news that we might touch on through this commentary this afternoon, that the Intercontinental Playoff for the World Cup is going to be 1 game played at a neutral venue, so no home and away. There won't be a repeat of the likes of Bahrain, Mexico or Peru coming to New Zealand, so I'm sure that fans around New Zealand are saddened by that news, but it'll be interesting to see what impact that has on the chances of the All Whites, assuming they win the Oceania qualifiers, and then wait and see who they're going to play. As Olympic have a free kick here. There's one of those attacking players getting on with things quickly in Rory McKeown. He is quality, the Irishman. And once they found their groove, Harry, against Selwyn, they were pretty impressive in that second half, Wellington Olympic.
Yeah, they were, and you touched on Rory McKeown, instrumental, getting in behind the Selwyn defensive line on that left-hand side, delivering fantastic crosses as well. Expect him to get involved early on. The other one that's of note that was quite evident last week, so the patterns that Olympic played with Caelan Gould coming in from either flank. Good interchange of passing with Lucas Halakias and Gianni Bazoukas on the other side. Very fluent patterns of play moving forward. Last week was Wellington Olympic.
And we just saw a little sign of that there with Lucas Halakias given some real space with a couple of nice touches, but couldn't capitalise. Now Sam Mason-Smith with the cross, had to be dealt with. It was dangerous at the near post. No Miramar player in attendance though. Here is the hat-trick hero from last week, Caelan Gould, and he's turned possession over. Bevan, who we've mentioned, got the late call-up during warm-ups that he would be in the starting lineup. But it's not bad, Harry, when you can turn to a player with the experience of Bevan and say, I need you to start this one. He'll just slip straight in, won't he?
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like he's just taken more of a midfield role than a straight swap for João Moreira, who would be leading the line up front for Miramar otherwise. So I think that's his best position in that number 10 role, or that attacking midfield role.
Scott Midgley under a little pressure here. Not too many options open to him. And he very nearly found the worst of them. Wasn't quite a corner given away. It is an attacking throw though. Halakias for Gould.
Yeah, one of the things I'd really interesting to see to this afternoon, Andrew, is the likes of Ben Mata, Harry Choate and Justin Gully at the back there. With all due respect to Selwyn United last week, that were very rarely put under pressure at the back with Wellington Olympic. So it'll be interesting to see how they deal with the likes of Sam Mason-Smith and Ollie White. Andy Bevan coming from deep as well.
Yeah, Ollie White, for anyone that's never seen Ollie play, he is very capable of unlocking the best defensive players and units around New Zealand. So look for him just middle of our screen there with the white boots. He will be one of the primary creators for Miramar Rangers. It's taking a little while for Halakias to get things back underway. That's come off White for another Olympic throw. The gap in the Central League at the end of the season was 5 points between these two. Olympic winning the title with 47, Miramar 42, Lower Hutt 41, which of course that Lower Hutt squad essentially the Wellington Phoenix and Western Suburbs were cast adrift a little. They were in 4th place on 31 points. But that 5-point margin a little deceiving given the second last game of the season was a clash between these two teams, and had Miramar won, then they could well have won the title by 1 point. They've got an attacking free kick here, so they can send their tall players forward. You can see just at the bottom of our frame there, starting to head forward, the likes of Taylor Shrivers. The number 6, the big centre back, heading into the penalty area. Will it be in swing or out swing? They've got both options available to them, Miramar. It's the outswing from White. It's a good ball played in, and somehow Olympic survive. They didn't know a lot about that. That was great delivery. And Ollie White might ask questions of those in the penalty area as to why they didn't get on the end of that.
Yeah, right, Andrew. I was going to say sort of Sam Mason-Smith was kind of a bit slow to react to that ball coming in. It's a good ball too from Ollie White. In with pace.
Very postage stamp pitch here at Miramar's home grounds, Dave Farrington Park, very close to the sidelines on both sides, and as you've seen on a number of occasions, they're close to the steep embankment on this near side. Justin Gully there in picture as well. Did not play last week through illness. Obviously with his ability and his experience, when he's available, he's straight back into the side, a key part of the lineup. Nice build-up play here. Space on the left now for McKeown, has support from Sinclair, ignores him, goes into the penalty area, and penalty given. Well, the referee was in close attendance. Taylor Shrivers does not agree. The referee, though, in no doubt at all. Harry, what are your thoughts on this?
It was Halakias that made the run across Taylor Shrivers. And the referee was very quick, wasn't he, to point to the spot. Quite harsh on Shrivers, I think.
Yeah,
interesting to see that one again.
I'm not sure there was a lot of contact, but there's not too much argument. The Miramar players appreciate that there's no changing the referee's mind here. But Taylor Shrivers there with hands on hips, that gives you, he's still having a word to the referee under his breath. It's Ben Marta, the skipper, the 23-year-old who's come forward, the centre-back, to take the penalty. Marta to give Olympic the best possible start, and that's why he took the responsibility. That was a wonderful penalty, and Olympic have the lead, albeit perhaps in controversial circumstances.
Yeah, nice penalty from Ben Marta. Was nice and composed. Obviously delayed until Zach Jones able to make a move left or right. Was able to slot it to Jones just inside the left post there. But yeah, as Scott Hales talked about at the top of the game, he's looking for a cup final environment here. I'm sure Miramar, a goal down, will certainly want to pick themselves up and get themselves back in this game. But again, interesting to see that penalty.
Well, they try and attack very quickly in response. Barnett chasing, but can't get on the end of the cross. And Gould, clever, but not to good effect, because now the foul is given away by Halakias, who started this game reasonably deep, not getting forward too much. Again, the narrow nature of the playing surface here might play a part in that, the wide wing-back type players may not get as many opportunities, not quite as much width there for either side to exploit. Another free kick though, this time from the opposite side of the park, and it is White to deliver again. Again, it's well played towards Miramar's Shrivers, who was involved at the other end of the park just moments earlier, but he couldn't get that goalwards. They've won a corner. Taken quickly. White involved in most attacking opportunities, and that's just wide. Real snapshot opportunity there from Harris Zeb, and that wasn't too far off.
There's Ollie White and Barnett sort of, it's Harris Zeb just finding a yard of space and reacting very quickly to try and get that one inside the post.
Just to finish, thoughts on the penalty, Harry. Interesting that there was no yellow card for Shrivers. It's very rare, isn't it, that a player will be ruled to have made an illegal challenge that results in a penalty and not get a yellow card. So interesting. Here come Olympic. You could see what Halakias was trying there to release Gould early. He was charging through the middle of the park. Perhaps that would have been just rubbing salt into the wound had a yellow card been shown that early in the match for what Shrivers felt wasn't a foul anyway. Harry Choates, who's playing on the right side of defence momentarily. It does look as though Gully and Choates playing left side, isn't he, with Gully on the right. So while Scully comes into the side, it does mean a little shuffle for Choate at the back of this Olympic back three. And there is Gully. Turned over. Akers decided they were better to try down this right wing side now. No problems for Toby Hunt. Kelly, who of course had opportunities with the Wellington Phoenix in the A-League.
He actually had a couple of stabs, didn't he, with the Phoenix, Justin Gully. Came through the academy. He made some first team experiences, and then a couple of years later he was re-signed by the club. But vastly experienced at the back. You got Gully, Mata, young Harry Choate.
Yes, and we wish the Phoenix all the best, of course, getting their campaign in the A-League underway this weekend. That competition starting last night. Bazookas putting some real pressure on. Clatters into the advertising hoarding behind the goal line. He's done well here to force a corner. Certainly looked as though Gianni Bazookas had the edge in pace here, Harry, up against Taylor Shrivers, who might have had his heart in his mouth with another challenge in the penalty area, not dissimilar to the one that led to the penalty. Sinclair to take. Away by Miramar. You can see the winds just having an effect, perhaps behind the backs of Olympic here in the first half. Clever outlet pass. That's really well played. Opportunity now for Miramar into the area. They go. Barnett, has he got a shot on goal? Well, he beat his defender, but the cover was there from Gully. Boy, was that needed. That was a great counter-attack by Miramar Rangers.
Yeah, didn't they move that well from back to front? 2 or 3 quick passes. Barnett, could he have pulled the trigger first off without trying to chop back onto his right foot?
Ollie White, with all the trickery, he has a lovely skill set, almost leading to an equalising goal. And everything good from Miramar is going through Ollie White.
Yeah, well, I think Andy Bevan and Sam Mason-Smith perhaps got in each other's way here, because I think Bevan just out of shot there. Possibly had a better angle. But a good chance for Miramar. Slowly getting themselves back in the game. Now looking the more aggressive, naturally been one down.
Good interception here from George Akers. Rolls the pass. White with the step over. Couldn't get the return ball. And Miramar's response since conceding has been good. Here's Gould. Scored the goal of the round last week. He might try and do something a little better here. And I'm not sure the pass was perhaps intended there for Sinclair, at least not on that angle. And a promising attack is cut out as Miramar too direct and taken a deflection. Toby Hunt will collect this. Deputising Toby Hunt. Scott Basile still not available. So Toby Hunt making the most of his opportunities. Gully looking for some targets. They will play the ball out from the back. They'll hope to do so with more accuracy than that, though. Barnett, Mason-Smith, lovely. White's, what a drive, gone wide. Well, Miramar look likely, and they look lively.
Yeah, they're in the mood, aren't they? Miramar, goal down, having to chase the game, and they are being the more creative, the more urgent of the two sides at the moment. That one whisked past the post from Ollie White. Good build up of pressure from Miramar. We've seen Olympic just on a few minutes ago trying to get through with Caelan Gould on this left-hand side, right-hand side, cutting in. But it's all been Miramar the last few minutes.
Yeah, Ollie White, Harry, just 21 years of age. Risky pass from McKeown, but the whistle's gone, so not sure the referee was ready for the restart. The players perhaps were ahead of schedule. But just 21, still has a huge career in front of him, and I'm sure would be on the radar of the likes of Ufuk Talay and the Wellington Phoenix coaching staff. He must have been close, must have been in their thoughts, Harry, in terms of one of the younger players that's performed well at domestic level.
I'm sure, Andrew, there's a lot of young players coming through, particularly on the Phoenix side through their academy, and look at their history, and they've riddled with players that have come through. Saprit Singh sort of springs to mind. Libby Kakachi, Ben Old, Curtis Mogg, George Ott have signed professional contracts.
Olympic with one of their better spells of possession. Ironically, they just looked a little rattled after having taken the lead. This is nice, though, stretching Miramar all over the park and also stretching Zach Jones, who's up to the task, the 20-year-old. Two very good young keepers with Keegan Smith on the bench for Miramar. Of course, Keegan had 6 A-League appearances for the Phoenix, and Zach Jones has been on the bench on 7 occasions in the A-League without taking the field. So 2 young keepers looking to make their way in the game in this country. Miramar now with their turn to spread the game. Akers tried one, a lot of traffic to get through, and he couldn't do so, and in the end gives the free kick away as well. The push in the back of Tor Davenport Peterson. Gully turns it over, and the worst player to do that to, I would think. Into the area goes Barnett. Across from Mason Smith. White on the edge of the area, always looking to play a little triangle, get the ball back to him. Gould now, and it may well have come off the Olympic winger, and it's a Miramar throw. Shrivers, who's experienced presence at the heart of that Miramar defence. Taylor Shrivers didn't play last week. Barnett, the attacking trio for Miramar, showing a good ability to interchange and create space for themselves, but also for their teammates. They're all over the park. Gould with a through ball, asking a lot of Jack Henry Sinclair, and it was just beyond him. Thumbs up though from Sinclair. Liked the vision and the intent from Caelan Gould. Lovely day here in Wellington. Certainly a day that allows these two teams, the only two with a perfect record at the start of the South Central Series, both 2 from 2, allows full opportunity for them to showcase their skills and in particular their attacking football. Akers ran straight into Halakias. White evades the challenge and there was no foul. Gets it back again though. Ollie White drives that across and Mason Smith was there lurking, had to be cleared away. He is promising to be the star of the show, but at the moment his team is behind. But Ollie White again a threat.
Yeah, it's in behind Harry Choate on this right hand side that Miramar seem to be getting a lot of joy at the moment. Barnett, White, Sam Mason Smith as well.
Gould
well moving forward, Miramar.
Counter-attacking opportunity here now, Harry, for Olympic, and they go down this left flank, and the free kick's been given though in back play, and Caelan Gould does not like it. The referee though was right on the spot again. That was a hugely promising attack for Olympic, and it was halted by some off-the-ball interference. Gully, the goalkeeper, is cut off. It's a dangerous game that they play, Olympic. From time to time they do invite pressure on themselves. And the referee wants to have a chat here with Caelan Gould for words that were exchanged. At least Caelan might feel he's almost in the same weight division, Harry.
Well, I don't think he's too happy with that free kick that the referee gave a few moments ago when they were clearly in what looked like a threatening passage with running onto goal.
Gould away again, and Sinclair into the area. What a tackle, brilliantly timed by Shrivers, and this time the referee is on his side. Last gasp lunge there from Shrivers. Well, if that ball's been knocked out of play, because Sinclair is very slow to get back to his feet, and he does so now. So not only was the challenge important from a Miramar perspective, there's an exchange there between the two players, so no ill feeling, but Sinclair felt the full brunt of the big number 6. This was clever from Gould, wasn't it, Harry?
Oh, he just got in time. With Shrivers there, lunging in, caught Sinclair, that follow through.
A chance for the players to have a drink and have a rethink, but for Miramar, Ollie White looks to be their most dangerous and creative player, but I think Caelan Gould is starting to put his stamp on the game. The last 2 or 3 counter-attacking opportunities have gone through the Englishman.
Yeah, they've been able to soak up some pressure, Wellington Olympic, and then that transitional play breaking quickly out of midfield with Gould. Obviously Kieran on the left-hand side as well. Halakia through the middle.
Midgley back to Jones. Miramar's turn to just to be patient in their approach, inviting Olympic into the high press and then see if they can go through them. They can't, and Olympic gain possession. Danger time again. Bazookas into the area or off the post. Oh, Miramar almost undone. Gianni Bazookas, what a chance that was.
They almost seemed really slow to react at the back to Miramar on more than one occasion. This one, Bazookas, more direct. They tend to mix it up, don't they, Olympic? And that's kind of the strength of what they have across the front 3 there, where they've got Gould who can cut in, Bakir on the other side, Bazookas and Halakia through the middle at times. They can play a very narrow attack when they need to. And Miramar, more than one occasion now, caught a little bit unawares at the back, I think. So just need to be aware of what's around them. I think Midgley and Shrivers just a little bit static at times.
Yeah, if the opening 26 minutes have revealed anything, I think clearly Olympic have the pace advantage. Their strikers have the edge on Miramar's defenders, so that's something they may look to exploit as the game goes on. This is promising. Zeb involved. Bevan having to go backwards though, and Olympic might have numbers here. They turn it over. White couldn't find his target with the outside of the right foot, and this will go through for Zach Jones to come and collect. Midgley. Look how high Olympic are. If possession is turned over, they have 3 and sometimes 4 players sitting very high and able to counter-attack very quickly. White. Just initially loose control from Mason Smith. Almost gets it back in the penalty area. Sinclair dancing through Miramar players. Down the right wing side, too much on that for Gould, and he's annoyed. So Caelan Gould felt that was an opportunity with a more accurate pass, perhaps to feet. Certainly appears to be the game plan, Harry, that Martin Pereira Garcia has looked to employ. That is press, force a turnover, and then counter-attack very quickly.
Yeah, they've certainly got the players to move quickly, that transition through midfield and up front, that pace as well. Kalia with Halakia, and the busy nature that we've seen from Caelan Gould over the last few weeks. Definitely a threat when he gets the ball in that attacking third. And for Miramar, just, Sam Dewa probably needs a little bit more stability in the heart of midfield in that number 6 role for for Miramar. They are getting caught, I think, with most of their midfield pushing forward and leaving some holes at the back where Olympia are exploiting with their pace.
I think we just saw just a little hint of the frustration with the yellow card that was given to Andy Bevan. It was really just a frustrated lashing out at Justin Gully. Confirmation of the yellow card for the late inclusion in the Miramar lineup. Gould's done well here to collect that, but couldn't engage in anything meaningful with his strike partner in Bazookas. Barnett, a little give and go with Mason Smith. He's running across that penalty area and always was running out of real estate. Lucky to get the deflection and force the corner. Owen Barnett, 19 years of age, out of Nelson, and has come through the Scots College system. What have Miramar got at set-piece time towards Shrivers? Away, though, by Olympic. And Gould, skillful player. And you could see the intention there, trying to play a $1 million pass to Jack Henry Sinclair. In the end, he didn't quite have enough on the FPOS card. Bazookas putting pressure on Shrivers, who responds well. How many touches has Ollie White had in this game? That one earned the free kick. He just had position there on Caelan Gould. And Gould was a little too eager to make the challenge.
Yeah, it was a clumsy challenge from Caelan Gould.
Back underway, White into the area. Mason Smith, as so often he's been back to goal. Hits it to the far post and just getting a little too early. Was it Shrivers that was forward, perhaps from the original setting up of the free kick? So they might be out of position here. Zach Jones has got no idea where that's gone. And Gould eventually uses the hand to bring it under control. That was a great ball played by Mason Smith, and Shrivers probably the right player to be on the end of it, but just didn't hold his ground. And
yeah, it looked like he mistimed his jump, didn't he? Because it was a well-flighted ball from Sam Mason Smith. It's more or less a free header for Taylor Shrivers.
Barnett creates a little space. Halakias gets back to close him down again. Is that a Miramar player on the edge? It was. White. Defender had to get in there and block that. That was goal bound. Still, Olympic can't get it clear. Under real pressure here, and Miramar have a throw left wing side. Well, this has been a very open encounter, and Miramar arguably have had just as good a chance. Just away from our cameras, we've had a little incident coming together, and referee tried to calm things down here. So yellow card shown to Tor Davenport Peterson. Let's have a look here. On the throw, it's high. It's high and reckless. Oh, it's been elevated to red. Well, red card for contact to the head here.
I was just going to say before you, when I saw that, I was thinking, did he actually lead with his arm into the back of the head?
Well, we might have another look, but Tor Davenport Peterson has an early departure card. He heads to the sheds, and 34 minutes into the game, his side leads, but now is behind numerically. And it is a dangerous lunge with the right foot, very high. And the referee, I say no hesitation. He took his time about the decision, but perhaps had some support from one of his assistants, and a red card. Well, that changes the complexion of this match. Can they capitalise immediately, Miramar? Whites around the wall, just try to get the keeper in two minds and maybe get a touch from an advancing teammate, but straight into the midriff there of Toby Hunt.
Yeah, already immediately we can see Miramar pressing. A bit more urgency to their game, maybe a little bit of confidence now that they have a numerical advantage.
It's always fascinating when a team goes down to 10, even more so when they lead in the match. They've earned that advantage on the scoreboard, but now they have to try and hold on to it for a long time still to go in this match. But Harry, if there is a team that is set up to play a man down and get you on the counter-attack, it might well be this Olympic team, with the pace and the inventiveness that they've got in the attacking third.
Yeah, now it just means that does Caelan Gould drop back a little bit deeper in midfield, and I suspect maybe Theo Ethma Mace, slot back in there.
Goal kick is given, and I think Jack Henry Sinclair is still having a word with the referee about the issuing of the red card. Well, there will have to be an adjustment from Olympic. They will have to Mason Smith into the back of Gully, and with every free kick, every challenge, you could hear it around the pitch. Frustration levels are high, tension is high.
Well, it's a big derby game, isn't it? And you've got a red card after 34 minutes. And it's just going to fuel some intent to get back in this game from the Miramar side, who can sense it. You can just get a sense of urgency, even from the throw-in, sort of looking to get the game underway as quick as they can.
Akers had stepped infield, but didn't take the ball with him. 21 years of age, Hawke's Bay product. Anyone that's been around football for the last 20 years or so will recognise the name Akers out of Hawke's Bay, son of Martin. All of a sudden, Miramar players are afforded more time on the ball, less pressure able to be exerted by Olympic, knowing that they've just got to sit back numerically. Spain, Zeb, lovely little step over, has support too from White. He ignored him, and maybe that was the wrong decision. Just didn't get his head up in time. Here's Dewar. Spreads the play. Midgley. Barnett. Away at the near post. It's a Miramar corner, and immediately they are starting to be the dominant team now, 11 against 10.
Yeah, Scott Hales would love to go into the sheds on even terms, given the amount of pressure they're building.
Again, somehow Olympics survive in the penalty area. They've had 2 or 3 of those crosses to deal with, and it seems it's more good luck than good management, but survive they do.
Yeah, and even when the ball, that second phase from the corners or crosses have come in, Miramar have had a shot, it's been blocked by a Miramar defender. So from an Olympic defender, I don't even think Toby Hunt's had to make any type of save in this first half, despite the pressure and the amount of possession that Miramar have had. They haven't been able to turn it into clear-cut chances.
There is Hunt, a long way from goal to take the free kick. And that was an important challenge. Gully it was, flying across there in front of White. Again, an acknowledgement from the 2 players. So whilst tension has been high on occasion, it's also been played in pretty good spirits. Nice work down this right wing side to Halakias. Gould cuts in as he's wont to do. He scored in just this sort of a move with the goal of the round last week against Selwyn. Just a battle to get him off the ball. Eventually Bevan does. And now what have Miramar got on the counter? Olympic with plenty of players back. And eventually they force Sam Mason-Smith just to put his head up and slow things down. 5 minutes until half time. Still Olympic with the lead, and now a chance for Sinclair. Miramar, plenty of numbers. Bazookas tries one from a tight angle and was going to have to be something special to challenge Zach Jones, and that one over the crossbar.
Well, he didn't have much on there. Gianni Bazookas, a tight angle using the outside of his foot to try and bend that one inside the far post.
Looked to come off the hand of Barnett, but nothing given from the officials. And Gully is going to be pretty busy, I would think. He does have a great motor on him. In fact, he's continued to go forward right into the attacking third. And if they turn this over, they could be in trouble, Olympic. White. Marta was there to clean things up at the back. The skipper who scored that penalty in the 9th minute. Olympic still holding on. If they can do so through to the break, they will turn knowing that Miramar will have the wind behind them. Barnett into the area. It's just gone wide. Always felt like he didn't get great contact on that Owen Barnett. He's asking for a corner, but no touch. It was just a scuffed opportunity. But they opened them up through the middle of the park. Miramar, well done.
Yeah, it was nice. Nice piece of play there from Miramar. Small passes, but effective. It was a good run too from Owen Barnett.
Midgley just keeping that one in play. Sam Dewar. Aaron Spain now for Mason Smith. White, lovely little ball for Akers, offside flag. Oh, the keeper's done well, Toby Hunt, to snuff that one out. And I think George Akers may well have a pretty serious injury here. I don't think this is too good for George Akers, and we might want to keep cameras away from this. We might want to keep cameras away from this, folks. I think there's a pretty serious injury for George Akers. There's contact here between the 2 players as they went for this little through ball, and this is not what you want to see.
Yeah, maybe the ref should just blow this one up, I think. It looks like a pretty serious injury.
The offside flag had gone up. Ollie White it was with the through ball, and there's just contact between the two players, and George Akers has come off much the worse for wear. So our thoughts here with George Akers with what looks to be a serious injury for the Miramar player. So we've had controversial penalty, we've had a sending off, and sadly now we add to the mix in the first half as we were nearing half time. A serious injury, and that will result in a break here. Fans enjoying the weather and enjoying a very competitive match, and no one though will enjoy seeing this to a young player. And the players are for the moment heading to the dressing rooms, so both sets of players are just going to leave the field for the moment. This won't be for a half-time break. This is purely the officials.
I just think they can't restart the game until they settle George Akers.
Or in fact, we have just had confirmation, folks. We have just had confirmation that we were a minute or so out from half-time, but the officials, and I think sensibly here,
it's the right
have
thing to
decided
do.
that this will be half-time, and they will add that minute or so to the second half. And the officials just conscious, aware of a serious injury here, so it is half-time, a chance for the players to head to the sheds and George Akers to get some attention, with Wellington Olympic leading 1-0 at half-time. It's been a half of many, many moments. 1-0 here at Dave Farrington Park.
That's a good ball into the top of the area. Oh, and goodness me, Zach Jones was wrong-footed there big time. And it's 1-0 to the Phoenix. And Spain delivers. Morietta, acrobatic. Jimmy, good ball. Oh my goodness, it's Van Hattem. Van Hattem, it's been saved. That was remarkable. How did that not go in? Ball's over Acho's head, still there for the Phoenix. Van Hattem again, and he's just wide. Morietta, good ball in, and there's a goal. Miramar go in front. Good work from Mason Smith. Morietta, yes! As is Hamilton. Here, here's Van Hattem through here, and there he is, the man we were just talking about. His last couple of minutes. Acho run to the defence. Acho, here's a chance. Oh, big chance for Toomey.
Brings up Halakias on the good early ball played in. Bazookas must score. Great save. To the top goes Booth. Toby Hunt has to scramble from Sinclair, and it's the opening goal of the match, and that is quite brilliant from Olympic. Well, given away, and a chance here. Hunt has beaten, and Selwyn have equalised, and that is a brilliant finish. A lot of touches at the start of the second half. Little 1-2 in the area. Sinclair, that's brilliant football. Rare opportunity in the Olympic penalty area. Can they create something? They can. Great chance, and it went wide off the feet of a defender. Paul Peterson advancing. Can he pick his spot? He did, but the keeper was there, and on the follow-up, it's Gould with his second. With Sinclair now operating down that right wing side, allowed to advance into the area. Shoots on goal, just wide. Taken quickly. Tries one, what a finish! What a finish for the hat-trick. So many players, handy cross as well, just over the top of Cunniff, but into the back of the net. That is stunning.
Just taking the corner. Nice touch, just there it's in! And Western Suburbs have opened the scoring in the first 8 minutes. Barnett, good play from him. Oh, it's off the crossbar from Bevan. White. Good turn, good change of direction. White, he's there. Clear opportunity here for Western Suburbs. It's gut kick. Here's space for gut kick. This is partially blocked there. It's still there. It's clipped, and yes, there is the goal for Miramar. Gut kick again in space. What can he cook up here? Delivers a good ball to Ingham. Oh, Ingham so close to equalising.
All of the action from round 2 and confirmation of results from the South Central Series. Olympic 4-1 over Selwyn with that hat-trick to Caelan Gould. Western Suburbs got up in just a 1-goal game over Kashmir Technical, and Miramar 3-2 over Wellington Phoenix at this same venue as we see them today at Dave Farrington Park. So just the two sides with perfect records, indeed the two sides with unbeaten records, Olympic and Rangers, who do battle here today. Suburbs a win and a loss, so too Kashmir Technical. Wellington Phoenix reserves will feel unlucky. They've played pretty well, they've just conceded too many goals. They yet to get a point, and so too Selwyn United. May well be a bit of a rude awakening for Selwyn, a club that's done so superbly well since their merger brought them into existence in 2013. Confirmation of this weekend's action, with Olympic leading this one 1-0 at half-time, an early half-time here at David Farrington Park. And tomorrow we have Western Suburbs against Selwyn United, and Wellington Phoenix at 3 o'clock will be looking to get their first point of the campaign against Kashmir Technical. That one played at Fraser Park in Lower Hutt. Looking at the Women's Series, the South Central Women's Series in round 2, Southern United being the real surprise packet. So they have a 3-win over Central Football at Logan Park in Dunedin last weekend, and Capital Football with 3-1 winners over Canterbury United at Petone Memorial Park. Canterbury struggling, I think, with the departure of a few players in the off-season. And confirmation there of Southern United also with a win over Capital Football earlier today, so they've continued their great start to the campaign. And tomorrow at 2 o'clock on Sky Sport Next, Canterbury United up against Central Football, that one from English Park in Christchurch. And Southern United, look at that table, played 3, won 3, they are perfect. Capital Football relatively close with just the 1 defeats, and Canterbury and Central Football are yet to get their campaigns underway. So Southern will be delighted with their start to the South Central Women's Series. And 1-0 it is here to Wellington Olympic. And we'll have more information for you on the other side of this break. A serious injury to George Akers, and that saw the first half come to an early conclusion. Both teams are in the sheds at the moment. 1-0 Olympic lead over Miramar. We'll have more information for you in just a moment or two.
loves me like you used to. Sometimes we're not ourselves. There's no one I can turn to. And I know all the feelings that we shared are in the past. And I know your relationships are never meant to last. And I'll take some time, but I'll be alright. We're moving on. We're moving on. I know times
Well, good afternoon and welcome back to Dave Farrington Park here in Wellington. We have had quite the delay, quite the break in proceedings here to attend to seriously injured George Akers. I can tell you that George has been safely removed from the pitch. It looked like a serious broken leg for George. We'll look to get an update for you, but our thoughts certainly with George Akers from Miramar Rangers with a serious injury causing this delay. Both teams have been in the sheds. They've been back out now warming up for the best part of 15 minutes or so and are going to continue this match. So it is delicately poised. 1-0 to Wellington Olympic. They took the lead from the penalty spot in the 9th minute. Ben Marta slotting home. We've had chances for both teams. Miramar certainly have had opportunities. And then we saw the red card for Wellington Olympic in the 34th minute with Tor Davenport Peterson sent off for a high reckless challenge. And then in the 43rd minute, the serious injury to Akers, who is substituted, obviously, and replaced by the number 16, Flynn O'Brien. And for Olympic, there's also a change because they need to set up defensively. And Lucas Halakias makes way, and he's replaced by Jagger Scott Greenfield wearing number 3. So the fullback is on for the more attacking-minded Halakias. Andrew Dewhurst with you. Alongside is Harry Nata. Harry, I reckon it's the worst aspect of a job that we're pretty pleased and pretty honoured to be able to be a part of, but you never want to see that. A serious injury. We certainly wish George all the best in his initial treatment and then recovery.
Yeah, it was a terrible event to finish that first half, wasn't it? So I think the refs did the right thing, the officials did the right thing to call that one early and obviously give the staff and the medical team on the ground there enough time to make George comfortable while they get him away to hospital.
So what we understand is we will play the final minute plus added time at the end of the first half, and then the teams will turn around straight away. So the restart here will essentially still be in the first half with the teams facing in the directions in which they started the match. A minute plus some stoppage time. And then we will turn around straight away and begin the second half. So quite the delay, but certainly the welfare of George Akers was the only concern for everyone here at Dave Farrington Park. As we now have a restart in this match that, as I say, is delicately poised with Olympic leading, but they are down a man with the sending off of Tor Davenport Peterson in the 34th minute of the first half. Caelan Gould, who has been impressive and obviously has gone out of the game a little bit since the sending off, with the defence the real focus for Wellington Olympic, but they still have that threat in the attacking third on the counter-attack. Miramar will have to make sure they don't overcommit and leave themselves potentially exposed to the counter-attacking play of Wellington Olympic. So physically a challenge for the players to have that sort of a break and warm up again, but no question, Harry, the biggest challenge is mentally coming back after seeing a teammate or someone from the opposition. These two teams, of course, both play in the Central League. They'll know each other well, and it's a real challenge just to get the headspace right, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Football becomes an afterthought, doesn't it? Just, I think everyone's attention was to make sure that George Akers was comfortable and away to hospital, and we can sort of restart what's been a major delay, as you said, Andrew, but both teams making changes.
So it looks as though there's a change positionally, but perhaps tactically as well. Aaron Spain on the ball there has gone on to the left-hand side of the park. Miramar perhaps in a 3-4-3. We'll get a better look at that in the second half, but certainly they've adjusted, and Wellington Olympic, you would think, will do something similar to respond as we're into 3 minutes of time to be added on. So 3 minutes of time to be added on here at the end of the first half before the players will turn around very quickly. And just coming together there, I think Midgley for Miramar and Jack Henry Sinclair for Olympic. Both are up and okay. Sinclair's been in the walls today. He's taken some time to get up on a couple of occasions and doesn't look to be walking too freely. Play gets back underway with a drop ball. And that one through to Toby Hunt. And it will be a real test for the youngster. He looked to be quite distraught after the collision. Certainly no intent there. It was just an awful collision that led to the injury. And Gully perhaps has gone more central in that Olympic defence as well. They may well drop back and play a back five at times, you would think, and just look to set up with two lines of defence, and that will mean Miramar will have much more time in midfield with the ability to pick and choose their passes. Here is Gully. Missed last week through illness, Justin Gully, but a key part of this Olympic lineup. Flynn O'Brien wearing 16. Ollie White was impressive until the stoppage in the game, and he's looking full of eagerness and intent on the restart. Here is White again on the ball. Just knocks one over the top. Can that be brought back in? It can, and the header just over the bar from Bevan. Well, he just couldn't get that down under the crossbar, Andy Bevan. And it looks as though Harris Zeb has stayed down after delivering the cross. And may well have been some contact with Toby Hunt, as he too was committed to try and cut out the cross. And Harris Zeb doesn't look too comfortable now. The good news is he's moving. He'll get some attention. Let's have another look,
And
Harry.
this is a great ball from Ollie White. You see this, the unfortunate clash with Toby Hunt, but Andy Bevan, we saw it in the first half, I think, earlier on in the first half when Sam Mason-Smith mistimed a jump from a clear chance, and that time it fell to Andy Bevan. Unfortunate not to get that one on target.
So this is the most unusual moment where half-time is whistled, but we'll stay with you because they will turn around and immediately commence the second half. I've only been back out there for 3 or 4 minutes to conclude a first half that was interrupted by that serious injury to George Akers. And I'm sure we're not the only ones here in the commentary box just holding our breath every time a player goes to deck. And hoping that lightning doesn't strike twice. Thankfully, no sign of any lightning.
It's definitely been an interesting first 45 minutes, hasn't it, Andrew? The penalty that we thought was a tough ask of Taylor Shriver's, or a difficult decision. And we had the red card,
which initially we thought was yellow, but
absolutely.
Was red for the high challenge. Bevan now, right at the start of the second half, tried to thread the needle. Flag stayed down. Sinclair trying to set up the counter-attack for Olympic. It's Aaron Spain, who, as we've mentioned, started on the right side of defence, but is now playing on the left side. McKeown trying to release Caelan Gould's done well to win it back again. Gould, Bazookas, looks for support, has to wait. And in the end, possession taken away by Owen Barnett. Now Miramar, they'll have plenty of time in midfield. This will be a pattern through the second half. Mason Smith. White might fancy one from distance. Onto the left foot, White. Looks for runners. And now really almost closed his own space down by delaying. And the cross to the far post for Bevan. Can't hook it back in play.
I'm sure this might be a theme we'll see in the second half as Miramar have that numerical advantage, but looking to get players forward. Trying to outnumber Olympic in the middle of the park.
Possession turned over. Midgley for Mason Smith. And this is where the pressure just builds and builds and becomes incessant, because every time Olympic clear, they just don't have a striker up front. They don't have the players up there to try and get on the end of those clearances. That's a cross from Barnett is harmless.
Well, they're just sitting back, trying to soak up some this pressure. Wellington Olympic, there's no players sort of putting pressure on any of the Aaron Spain, Taylor Shrivers or Scott Midgley at the back there. You see them just all inside the majority of their own half, the white shirts.
Shrivers back to Jones. Hunt's outside his penalty area, taking no chances. Yeah, they do have the advantage, of course, on the scoreboard. So Wellington Olympic almost have two opportunities to get something from the game. Initially, it's how long can they hold on to all 3 points. But even if Miramar do score, of course, Olympic would be delighted, I'm sure, if they were to play for so long with 10 to pick up a point in this one. The keeper comes out, good save. Well played, Toby Hunt. Had to be very alert. In fact, it's cannoned off Aaron Spain, and it's a goal kick, so that's double delight for Toby Hunt.
Yeah, some nice work early on in that passage from Owen Barnett. Getting in happy to press high, Miramar, and try and put some pressure on. It's one was Justin Gully. I feel they'll get a sniff of the ball if they can get their strikers working across and putting pressure on these Olympic defence. They'll turn the ball over. That'll give them some opportunity to maybe get the likes of Ollie White. And Owen Barnett has been very busy in this game so far.
This, though, Harry, is a complete change of game plan, isn't it? We're seeing from the free kick there, a good challenge made here by Edema, but then he gives it away. And he may have sold a couple of teammates short there as they started to advance. Gully steps in for the interception. The free kick is Gully is fouled here. But just earlier, Gully, Olympic almost certainly previously, when they had 11 players, they would have played that free kick short and tried to play out. But everything now is let's just clear, let's get away.
They're just looking to consolidate at the back, aren't they, Wellington Olympic? Then they'll look to use likes of McKeown and Gould on the counter-attack. I think they've been guilty in the first few minutes of the second half, just turning the ball over too easily, Wellington Olympic. It does become a mental challenge too. If you just want to get the ball in Miramar's half, don't you? You instead of trying to play at least trying to link some passes together and try and take the sting out of the attack and at least try and control the tempo when you have possession.
McKeown with a switch of play, looking for a very intelligent run of Gianni Bazoukas. It's good defending by Midgley. If they are to add a second goal, Olympic, you would think it's likely to be a piece of individual brilliance, perhaps. And they've got the players that can do that. Miramar patient now. White. Shrivers continues his forward run. Nice little piece of interaction there before the shot goes over the bar by Harris Zeb. And another look at this opportunity, well crafted, and just couldn't keep it down, Harris Zeb, as a change is made by Scott Hales, and Nathan Symes, wearing 20, replaces Owen Barnett. So Symes, who in 10 games for Miramar this season has 5 goals, and 7 of those appearances have been off the bench. So he is a player with an eye for goal. So yellow card is shown there. And it looks as though it's the skipper, Ben Mata, who's picked up the yellow card. I thought it may have been Toby Hunt for taking too long, but goes against the number 15, the big centre back. Sinclair stood on the ball. Zeb did likewise. He's the substitute making an immediate impact. Wonderful footwork by Harris Zeb, who somehow wriggled away from 2 or 3 defenders before losing possession.
Yeah, I think Harris Zeb's definitely got some attributes there that are going to, this second half, as long as that.
Chance here for Spain into the area, and the defensive work was important. Aaron Spain moving to that left side of the park and given a little more license to go forward, has had a couple of half chances in the second half.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Andrew, I think Miramar have got some opportunity to really stretch Olympic at the back and use the pace of Harris Zeb. He's a good outlet as well. Lots of pace, can run at players. Very direct.
How long can Olympic hold on? You really still don't recall too many saves of consequence from Toby Hunt. Miramar starting to dominate possession and territory, but can they create the chances? Zeb round behind them now, real opportunity now. Zeb across the area, it goes White, slams it home and says let's get back and get on with it quickly. Well, that's how long Olympic can hold on, is not much longer. Harris Zeb, great work down that right wing side, and that is an emphatic finish from Ollie White.
Yeah, I was going to say earlier, Andy Bevan's been quite quiet, but releasing Zeb. And what a finish from Ollie White. Arriving late in the box. He smashed that one into the roof of the net.
Well, now it is very much all hands on deck and scramble, see if we can defend, hold on to a point, but there's a long time to go in this one for Olympic. And if anything, will they actually get braver? Bazookas and Sinclair through the middle of the park. And studs up challenge here from Gianni Bazookas, and a yellow card is shown to the Olympic number 10. I think this could be Taylor Shrivers, is it? Just looking, no.
Sam Dewar.
Out of midfield, so he's okay. It's a confirmation of the yellow card for Gianni Bazookas. If you've just joined us, a first half that took closer to 90 minutes to play out, as Gully might have got a piece of this, but Spain had the opportunity. I think a very good advantage played by the referee. Gully looked to have fouled, but Spain had the shooting chance on goal. And Miramar now looking very likely, almost at will. They're getting behind this Olympic defence. Bazookas. Sinclair, who is very central in this rejigged formation for Wellington Olympic, down to 10 men.
I think this is where the likes of McKeown and Gould become so important for Olympic now, because when they do get a chance to play the ball forward, they have to retain possession. They have to allow the midfielders and their defensive line to push forward inside the Miramar half. It's just becoming too easy for Miramar to dispossess the Olympic players and then start their attacking movements going forward.
Ollie White brings Zeb, and Zeb goes around his fullback again. Who's there in support, pulls it back. Really more in hope than with any direction towards a teammate. As he stayed onside, Zeb. Olympic clear their lines, but not for long. Dewar, switch of play, knowing that they can stretch this Olympic side from one side of the park to the other.
Yeah, there just has to be patient pressure too from Miramar. They've got themselves back in the game now. They know they've got the numerical advantage. They know they've got the pace to get behind them with Harris Seb. So even Aaron Spain on the other side as well as getting forward.
Olympic setting up with just two lines of defenders, and they're inviting Miramar into that attacking third almost every time. Bevan tries to curl one, doesn't get it around Toby Hunt. Very comfortable save for the youngster. Andy Bevan, who was listed amongst the substitutes, but a warm-up concern for João Moreira. Saw the Portuguese striker replaced before the match started in the starting lineup. Here's White again. Bazookas has to be careful, he's on that yellow card. Zeb. White. Good use of the body. Dewar for Spain. Symes. Olympic with players back though, just forcing Miramar in the wrong direction. Lovely touch here, flag stays down, pulled across, good intervention by the keeper.
Yeah, it's just about every time Miramar do get the ball in those sort of forward positions, they're getting in behind the defensive line of Wellington Olympic. Seems to be just too easy sometimes.
Sinclair, can he capitalise on a slip? Was he clipped there? He says he was. The referee agrees. So set piece opportunity. And they'll take the free kick. We believe it is going to be Gianni Bazookas who will be replaced. He'd let the hair down, literally. Ready to head to the bench. But they will await the outcome of this attacking opportunity. Very central, Harry. Sometimes the free kick specialists like a little bit of angle, don't they? But this is quite central here. For it looks like McKeown's going to take control.
Yeah, I think you would have, in an ideal world, liked it sort of 5 or 10 yards to the right-hand side there, so he can really use his natural ability to curl that with his left foot. It's a better angle for a lefty.
Sinclair couldn't get it around the wall. They've still got players forward here. And the ball out over the sideline. So a double blast of the whistle means we are going to the bench, and they've had a change of heart there. It is Harry Choate who makes way. So Alex Pelezovic is on in place of the fullback, Harry Choates, and that may be another tactical change in formation perhaps. This is where they need to be though, Olympic, in the attacking third, where they can, at least for the moment, not be damaged further by Miramar, who have that numerical advantage. Rare moments in possession for the team in white. Gould just ran into trouble. Was well defended by Midgley, sending the attacker into an area where he knew he had teammates. Zeb has switched across to the left wing side for the moment. Bevan. How patient are Miramar? How accurate are they when surely further opportunities present, as you would expect they will? Jewett with the switch of play. Offside.
Yeah, Wellington Olympic be quite happy to, in these sort of free kicks or stoppages in place, quite happy to take their time. The sting out of the game, slow it right down.
Bevan ruled to have fouled on that occasion. Tall figure of Theo Edema, who in the 34th minute lost his holding midfield partner and tore Davenport Peterson to a red card. Bazookas, who we thought was going to be removed from proceedings not long after having picked up a yellow card, but coaching staff had a change of heart. Mason Smith strong in the challenge. There's a late challenge here. Play on, says the referee. And another late challenge here. So this is starting to get out of hand. And the referee and his assistants are going to do well to have eyes all over the park here. Two challenges in quick succession. And a yellow card shown to... That's the second one. So that was Rory McKeown. But we believe a yellow card is shown to Theo Edema for the first challenge. Signs, Harry, that tempers are starting to get out of control.
Yeah, well, it's, as you said, we've seen a hell of a lot of action. Some of it very unfortunate, but as a derby, there's always going to be a few fireworks, I think. You're both these clubs steeped in history. Probably the two better clubs in the Wellington area. Looking who's going to reign supreme after this derby.
So out of all of that, Olympic get the free kick. So perhaps the Rory McKeown challenge was after a foul had been committed by Miramar. So they did have an advantage initially after the challenge by Edema. And Dewar and McKeown come together. Gould, space here on the right. He's been pushed very wide though, Bazookas. Just stumbles momentarily. Swings it towards the far post. McKeown hooks it back in. Sinclair. Olympic. Can they capitalise? No. Straight into the hands of Zach Jones, and Miramar want to get on with it quickly. Pilizovic all the way back to Toby Hunt. Certainly looks like Aaron Spain and Harris Zeb have been given licence. That one through the middle, great opportunity here for Olympic. Have they taken the lead? They have. Down to 10, and it's that man with the hat-trick last week and the goal of the week, and he is pumped. Olympic, numerical disadvantage, but Caelan Gould gives them the advantage back on the scoreboard, 2-1.
What an absolute clinical finish from Caelan Gould. But what about the ball from Justin Gully? Breaking out of defence for Wellington Olympic. Miramar been guilty in the last couple of minutes of some sloppy possession. Gifting the Wellington Olympic the opportunity to break in midfield, and what a ball from Gully. And equally, and we've seen quality finishes from this guy. A hat-trick last week for Caelan Gould. He scored a quality goal in the first game against the Wellington Phoenix, where they ran out 4-2 winners. And on the score sheet again today for the number 20.
Well, not only in these last couple of weeks, but it was his goal back on the 14th of August that saw Olympic defeat Miramar. So he has been a thorn in their side. Change was made after the goal with Sam Matrakis replacing Theo Ettimer. So Miramar with it all to do again. Zeb gets to the byline. Too much weight on the cross. Spain, oh, awkward save from Toby Hunt. And the foul from Bevan, who feels that Sinclair made plenty of that. He's walking a tightrope is Andy Bevan, already has a yellow cards.
Yeah, there's nothing cynical in that. I think it was just a clumsy late challenge from Andy Bevan. Perhaps Andrew, he probably could have had a sniff. He knew what he was doing there, just to stop play up.
Yeah, I wonder if Sinclair knew as well who it was, because by taking a tumble, just asked a question of the referee, knowing that Bevan was already on one yellow card. Well, not only the scoring of the goal, Harry, the last 2 or 3 minutes, Olympic just got their tails back up again. Bazookas can't find the goal scorer. Miramar just a little shell-shocked here. And suddenly it's their passes that are going astray, and Olympic, momentarily anyway, they look as though they have plenty of players in support. Bevan forces the throw for Miramar, left wing side. It will be the last act in the match from Andy Bevan, as he is replaced by the Frenchman, Hugo Delhomme. So Delhomme did play last week in their win over the Wellington Phoenix, so he's got the final 20 minutes of this one. Zeb, he's had plenty of opportunity to run at defenders and find space, Harris Zeb. Shrivers, who's moved out to the right side of defence with O'Brien coming into the game at the heart of their defensive trio. Spain. Couple of step overs. Not able to shake his defender though. White. Dewar with the switch of play. Symes turns it over. Gould. Two players come across knowing the danger that he presents. He is elusive and finds a teammate in the supporting Jack Henry Sinclair, and that is not too far from the top corner. And really that is individual brilliance. That's just Caelan Gould, patient and strong on the ball, and Jack Henry Sinclair ready to pull the trigger.
Nice play from Caelan Gould, even trying to draw a foul there.
Chance now for White, and they've equalised. The flag stays down, or has it gone up? The referee says get back to halfway. I thought he was intervening to say free kick, but no, it's Ollie White at the double. And the substitute played a huge part here with Hugo Delholm with the final pass and the good finish again from Ollie White.
He seems to find himself in those positions, doesn't he, Ollie White? Likes to break out of midfield, get himself in the box. He's just a huge talent. He kind of gets he gets a sense of, as good midfielders do, those players who like to break inside the box. He's got a sense of making himself available. Another opportunity he's taken.
Mason Smith, here come Miramar again. It's the turn of the home side to have their tails up. Zeb brings it down. The shot is blocked, but they have a corner. Well, this game has had so many changes in momentum. Whether it was goals, whether it was a red card, whether it was injury. Delholm sends it across. It's a headed clear though. Gould, look at that turn from Gould, the Englishman. He may be away here. One to beat Gould. Oh, this would be stunning. Spain gets back just in time though. And on that occasion, Spain defeats England. Well, Caelan Gould, Harry Nata, he is an absolute star of what would have been a National League, of course, now the South Central Series.
Oh, look, he's been all skill at the moment, Caelan Gould. Just the way his body position when he received that ball, controlled with his thigh and turned it all in one movement, one action. Put himself in a forward position. He used his skill and his guile to push himself forward.
And it's a moment like that just gives Olympic hope again. Rory McKeown has gone down. Aaron Spain has a yellow card, one of a number that have been handed out in this match. It's just experience there from the Irishman, just knocking the ball past the defender and bracing himself for the contact. This is going to make for one heck of a highlights package. They've not sent too many forward. Jones was nowhere near that though, the Miramar keeper. Pelezovic now tries to hook it back in. Jones keeps it in play, no. Whistle goes and that just halts the hopes there of Miramar looking to launch a counter-attack. Shrivers looking for the run of Aaron Spain. Symes doesn't need to chase that. Taking a deflection and Miramar with the corner. Substitute the Frenchman to take. Drives it across low into the area. Olympic just struggling to get that clear. Now they can through Sinclair. White comes away with it. Another corner for Miramar. Olympic contemplating another change. Nathaniel Hailemariam is ready to make his entrance into the game, but I think they're just checking to see that Jack Henry Sinclair is okay. And they'll just delay the substitution. Again taken by the Frenchman. Far post headed towards goal. Just cleared away by Mata. On that occasion, Shrivers did get good elevation and downward effort with the header. Again, the substitution is delayed whilst Miramar are on attack. It is Olympic that will make a change. Gould, what have they got on the counter attack here? Handball. That could have been all on there. Bazookas. Still no substitution. And now the chance for Martin Pereira Garcia to make another change. And it is Gianni Bazookas who makes way. He thought he was going to be removed earlier. He's one of a number of players to have picked up a yellow card. He is replaced by Nathaniel Hailemariam. There is the departure of the Olympic number 10. Shrivers. Switch of play from O'Brien. Finds Delholm. Symes, all of the substitutes getting involved. Symes unable to keep that one in play though. A match that should well and truly have concluded. A match that was delayed for some significant time with the serious injury to George Akers, who has been taken away to hospital with what we believe to be a pretty serious broken leg. This time it was a chance almost for Kaylin Gould to return the favour to Sinclair, and somehow Miramar keep this out. They still haven't got it all the way clear though. Pelezovic couldn't get any real purchase on the shot. Jack Henry Sinclair looked favourite there for a moment, didn't he, Harry?
We did, Dewey. I was just going to say, you know, Kaylin Gould seems to be, he has had a good game this afternoon. Fantastic goal, but every time he gets the ball, you feel like something's going to happen. Just trying to wriggle his way in the penalty spot a few moments ago. Bit of pinball wizard, off a shin, off an ankle.
Well, a local derby that promised plenty. Two teams that battled it out in the Central League this season. A title that was only decided in the penultimate round when Olympic won the match against Miramar 1-0. It was Kaylin Gould on that occasion that had the goal. They went on to win the title, and this has had plenty of feeling and had to be punched away by Zach Jones, and done so efficiently. So into the final 10 minutes, And that will see Wellington Olympic, if it's possible, slow down even more. As Rory McKeown, if they ended up with a goal kick on the end of this play, I think he might go and take it.
Yeah. Well, he took that corner, didn't he? And then he taken the throw in on the other side of the park.
You've got to be careful though, because yellow cards will be given for time wasting. And there's a few players just walking that fine line, having already been booked. Gould, Halamari and the substitutes. And too much on the cross, and that will allow Miramar to perhaps set up again for another attacking foray. Here they come now, and it's Ollie White on a hat-trick. Ollie White gets onto the left foot. Is he taken too long? He has. Marta with the block. Ollie White really just took his own time and space away from him.
It's one of the things I've noticed with Ollie White over the last sort of few weeks, that he kind of has that chance to shoot on his right foot, and he'll kind of chop it back on his left just to find another angle and some more space.
Shrivers. This is nosebleed territory for Taylor Shrivers. Needs support. Finds it to in Symes. Symes creating space. As he forced the corner? No, just lost his balance. But we're into those moments of the match, aren't we, Harry, with now 7 minutes to play, where the likes of Taylor Shrivers, if the opportunity presents, just get forward, keep going, commit to those runs. Dewar and Sinclair do battle. Here's the 2-goal hero for Miramar. White finds Midgley. Mason Smith. Zeb, showing that he's got great speed. Has he got an accurate cross? Looking for supports. White picks it up on the edge. White collected late, just outside the penalty area. Every time Harris Zeb, whether it's left or right wing side, has the opportunity, he clearly has a pace advantage. The Frenchman, who has only been on the park for 10 minutes or so, the substitute, but he has taken control of the set-piece situation. Angle is tight for a shot on goal, but he goes towards the far post and batted away by Toby Hunt. May have seen that late, the keeper. Toby Hunt, that time just smashing it away, when perhaps catching it might have been the easier of the two options. Olympic trying to hold on desperately. They've had the lead twice. Twice they've been pegged back. Zeb to the byline. Cross was good. No one there. Spain arrives late. Sent it back across and just wide. One of the substitutes. So the Frenchman has already set up a goal from the bench. Almost scoring what might prove to be a winner if they can get a third, Miramar.
There's a free header too, just inside, probably about 10 yards out. Good cross from Aaron Spain as well. And Olympic hang on for the last few minutes.
Or can they have another little smash and grab moment and get a third themselves? White is on a hat-trick, remember. Played that for himself and he gets there. It's taken a deflection. And Olympic relieved to get that away towards halfway. Strong challenge comes in from McKeown. It's fair though. Shrivers sends the cross in early when he had time to deliver something a lot better than that. Well, they will have been down to 10 men for the best part of an hour by the time the match concludes. So I would imagine, Harry, if Olympic can come away with a share of the points here, they will consider that a little victory in itself. Sinclair surrounded, as you would expect, the lone Olympic player in the penalty area.
Yeah, you can see the intent from Olympic now, just to get the ball forward on every occasion they can, and push their defenders up, try and delay play when there are stoppages. They're trying to frustrate Miramar. They're trying to obviously get on the ball and push forward.
That's nice from Zeb. Ball into the penalty area, away by McKeown. Much of his work has by default today had to be defensive. Hailemariam advances down the right wing side. Gould is well marshalled by O'Brien. They might need to come away from that left wing side. It's just got a few too many players over there for Miramar to make any inroads. Symes. White. Delholm. White. Ollie White! Ollie White with the hat-trick! Ollie White, that's all he needed. A little space on the edge of the penalty area, and he delivers. Surely that's enough now for the 3 points for Miramar. This is a brilliant strike.
Oh, fantastic strike from Ollie White. Scored a similar goal against Western Suburbs in round 1. Is this the killer blow for Olympic? They've held on as long as they have with 10 men. They've had the lead on 2 occasions. Wellington Olympic.
And the aftermath is going to include a yellow card here for Ollie White. It is still mandatory in football that if you remove your shirt, you will be booked. And I've never quite understood, Harry. It's been in place for years. Why would you automatically earn yourself a yellow card? Find a different way to celebrate. I don't want to take too much.
You're doing with keep your shirt on, right?
I don't want to take too much away from the young fella. It's a brilliant hat-trick in a match that has had so many ups and downs, so many flashpoints, and it may well be enough. Ironic, of course, for Olympic in that they had their own hat-trick scorer in Caelan Gould last week. He's scored this week, but may not be enough. Goes down in the penalty area. What a shot, what a save. It's not all done yet. Jones keeping them in it. Now a chance, and they've equalised. Oh my goodness me, Hailemariam with the Hail Mary. This is incredible here at Dave Farrington Park. Can you believe it? You have to, because it's just played out in front of you.
This is
what a game.
Derby games are about, aren't they? Drama, goals, cards. If you're a neutral observer of this afternoon's game, what a fantastic game. 6 goals. Some fantastic strikes as well. Hat-trick from Ollie White. Substitution. Hail Marion.
Oh my goodness, what a finish. And Zach Jones, you feel for the keeper. He made a very good save initially to keep an opportunity out. But they were composed on the follow-up, were Olympic. And Scott Hales, he might have words with his team after this that they didn't retain their composure after the goal. Perhaps celebrating a little too much, a little too early.
I think so, Andrew, absolutely. Just let their guard down ever so slightly.
Oh, it's not all over yet. Another goal. Oh my goodness me. 3 goals in 90 seconds.
Kidding
Mason
me.
Smith.
You are kidding me.
Oh, and this time they're celebrating like they've won it, but there's still 3 minutes of time to play. I'm running out of ink to write down all the details. What a save here from Toby Hunt, but Mason Smith is the first to react, and that's not the easiest of finishes.
It's still a tough finish to make because the ball is around about knee height. You've got a defender coming at you. You haven't hit it on a volley. What a game. Gee, Andrew, would you bet on if we've got another goal in this? What do you think?
I'm just, which is not actually good for a commentator. I'm not saying anything. Every time we've felt that one team or the other has done enough, whether it was simply to get a point for Olympic, whether it was to get all three for both sides. And there's been so many twists in this tale. Offside flag is up and Olympic won't delay here. They're behind on the scoreboard, so they will throw everything now at Miramar in the final 2 minutes.
Well, Miramar have scored 4 goals in each of their 3 games so far this season. In the Central Series, 4 against the Phoenix, 4 against Selwyn last week.
Olympic have, yes.
Sorry, Olympic,
yes.
beg your pardon.
So they'll be hoping that they can find that form again here, but surely not.
Even I was getting excited there, Andrew.
Well, it has been difficult to keep track of this through the closing stages. It has been a belter of a game. Sinclair into the area, taken down, penalty. Harry, you wanted a 4th goal, you wanted another twist, you've got one. And there is no argument here from Miramar. This is a clear penalty. Well, Ben Marta started scoring in this match so long ago, he might have a chance to finish the scoring. It's O'Brien who comes across.
Lynn O'Brien.
And is it Ben Marta? It is. He has the football, the big skipper. And the first penalty seems like an eternity ago. It was in the 9th minute of the match, but in truth, it's about 3 days ago. And he tucked it away superbly to the keeper's left. Let's see if he goes the same way or if he's got another penalty option up his sleeve.
You couldn't write this any other way, Andrew, could you? What an amazing afternoon it has been in more ways than one.
Marta to drag a point out of the fire here for Olympic. They've been down to 10 for over an hour. Marta goes the same way, same results.
Cool as you like.
4-4 here at Dave Farrington Park. This is a derby classic, and it was the last kick of the match. There is no time for another twist. This has been incredible. Marta, his 2nd of the match, both from the penalty spot. And quite incredible scenes here. And our thoughts immediately turn to George Akers. And we wish him well in his recovery. The match delayed for a long time through serious injury, but it finishes 4-4 here at Dave Farrington Park.